Dive's a beautiful addition to the set list, to the song tracks, because coming from the saltwater people, it reminds me of this story when my mum decided to ask me to go fishing with her. It was a windy season. I think it was the trade winds are blowing, and people don't go out fishing too much. It's rough, it's cold, and there's just not, we're not eating a lot of food during this season, and I think we're surviving on damper and mangoes for breakfast, lunch and dinner. It can get pretty boring, but no one goes out fishing. That's it, you're stuck with mangoes and damper. And I remember my mum going to the back of the island. I went with her and she didn't have time to get bait because the sun was going down, we were losing light. She walks into the ocean, waist deep, chest deep, casts out her hand line, and after a short time she pulls in the biggest fish I've ever seen. And this is really pretty amazing, because as we're walking off, people are saying to her from the house, "Come back, don't be silly, you're not going to catch anything." And I'm walking behind my mum, who isn't flinching because she's on a mission, thinking, "You'd better catch something, Mum, or we're just going to look ridiculous if we come home, or when we come home." So we get the biggest fish I've ever seen, and I was just completely amazed, and I'm sort of shouting out to her, "That's so fantastic, Mum. How'd you know the fish was going to be there?" And she doesn't flinch, she doesn't turn around. She says, "Because it's the ocean, it's where they live." And in that moment, it was probably the most poignant thing that you could say to a 12-year-old child. It's like, well, it's really about life, isn't it? Everything you want is there. You've got to go and get it. It's not going to come to you. And I took that very vision with me, and every time I sing this song, that's my story.